2025 has already started out strong with big games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, with a ton of games that's sure to follow. But I wanted to go over my top 15 best upcoming games from what we know right now. But there are a number of high quality games that are coming out very soon and in the future that I'm looking forward to the most across multiple different platforms. So I wanted to run down those and give you guys what I'm looking forward to, or what maybe you should check out on your systems. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first game, and that is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dungeon Unification Wars. This game's coming out March 6th, and it is awesome. Reviews are coming out. It's a really good game. It's a lot of fun because it's an old school game, the old school remaster brought back, and you get 2 full games, but not just 2 full games brought back, but actually remastered with better quality when it comes to the visuals, when it comes to the sound, when it comes to everything in the game. Quality of life features, it's been sped up to where you can go through battles faster. There's so many different things that they've added into the experience, stuff like a dialogue box as well, and it's got a unique take on the RPG in terms of how you play it. You've got these big team battles, you've got multiple characters up to 100 that you can recruit, and a really cool story as well. And like I said, plenty of content between both games. So Suikoden, if you're looking for an old school RPG to get into, this is definitely one to look out for. Next up, let's talk about another really highly rated game, and that is Split Fiction, March 6th as well. And I would say that Hazelight almost never misses. This is one of the best reviewed games of the year so far, and it looks like it's even going to take things a bit further. Could be a game of the year candidate by the end of the year. And essentially this is where you can embrace mind-blowing moments as you're pulled deep into many worlds of Split Fiction, a boundary-pushing co-op adventure. And that's what Hazelight has done. They've done this awesome co-op to where, from what I've seen so far, it looks like there's going to be a lot of different gameplay variety and styles, and also uniqueness and innovation within the co-op genre of one person doing one thing, somebody else doing something different, and working together to defeat enemies, get through levels, go through different things. And it just looks like it's super fun from what I've read so far. Graphically, it looks really nice too, and you buy one copy, you can get one to your friend as well. So overall, in terms of just being able to play the game, how easy it is to play, you can just get the game and then your friend can play as well too. So it's a really cool deal when it comes to value as well. Split Fiction looks like it has everything in there to be a phenomenal game, and something that if you love co-op, or if you have someone to play with right then and there, this is a game that you have to check out from Hazelight. So Split Fiction on March 6th, and there's been some rumors, or more like Mr. Ferris, the guy who made the game from Hazelight, has essentially hinted that it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2. So maybe something will pop up with that when it comes to April 2nd at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Next up, let's talk about Rise of the Ronin on PC. March 10th. Rise of the Ronin came out last year for the PlayStation 5 as a console exclusive, and I think that it was a little bit of a hidden gem. I actually picked it up because I thought it looked really cool, and then my copy never got here. My copy never got here, got lost in the mail. I'm not sure what happened, but I got refunded. But it's coming to PC, and I do think that the PC version fixes a lot of the issues, or at least some of the technical issues that was there. But the game ran pretty good overall. But PC, they've upgraded it. They've got a lot of cool additions, and it's pretty much the definitive version of the game overall. Everything that's came out, from what I understand, will be in that PC version of the game, and it's a Koei Tecmo type of game. It's really good when it comes to the combat and the variety of different equipment that you can get, the styles that you can do. It's sleek, it's an open world as well. So I do think that it's a little bit of an underrated game because it's really good. But I watched it in addition to all the different stuff that I've seen about it. So if you're into the fast-paced action RPG type of games, Rise of the Ronin should be a game to check out, and I might check it out on my PC as well. Next up might be my most anticipated from what we know at this point, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on March 20th. This is the game that people have been asking for when it comes to being on the Nintendo Switch and not leaving it to rot on the Wii U. And we finally have this game. Nintendo put out an overview trailer which goes over just some of the light aspects of the combat, the scales, the story. Finally see more of the graphics. the music been revamped a little bit. There's so many cool things about this. They've got everything on one screen now. You can have a true portable version of this game. But what makes Xenoblade Chronicles X so good is the fact that it kind of puts together so many different aspects of different genres of games when it comes to turn-based RPGs, action RPGs, and that classic monolith soft style, and puts it all into one incredible package. When it comes to content overall, the scales are super fun to fly through. There's a lot of customization between your scales, but then the combat is really fun, unique, and I would say innovative in many different types of ways, and puts that classic monolith soft spin when it comes to Xenoblade on something that's a little bit different with a true open world game. The environments are beautiful as well. You're going to want to explore all the way throughout these environments. You're going to want to continue battling, collecting experience, getting new weapons, and they've pretty much revamped the UI and how the online works. So you have 4-player co-op up to 32 players with 4-person silos to do takedown missions, essentially like you're part of like a military squad. So it's a lot of fun overall, and they're going to finally be fixing the cliffhanger ending in this game. The original on the Wii U, that's not worth playing anymore, in my opinion, outside of the Wii U gamepad features. But even then, because the ending just isn't satisfying with that cliffhanger ending, whereas in this one, they've intertwined a new story, so it's going to be a lot better. They've got a brand new area at the end. They've got new characters added in as well, new scales added in. So this is the version to play overall on March 20th. So Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, absolutely a game I'm looking forward to a lot, but I'm also looking forward to all the new people that are not subscribed to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Hit that like button as well, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they drop. Now let's go ahead and get into the next game here, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows on March 20th. Assassin's Creed is a franchise that I have not been excited to play in quite some time, and Assassin's Creed Shadows actually looks pretty cool between the two different characters, when you've got a big samurai that you can use as well that's got a lot of punishing moves, and also a fast as lightning type of ninja as well that hides in the shadows, and she can do a lot of sneak attacks and all of that. So I do like the dynamic that they have there. The graphics in the game look incredible, and it looks like they've really taken the time to potentially stamp out all of the issues that I've had with Assassin's Creed games, from the bugs and the glitches and some of the just kind of like meh gameplay that I've seen from it. And it looks like they're actually taking that and making it way better from the combat clips that I've seen so far. Now we have to see how the story plays out too, but overall I think Assassin's Creed Shadows looks pretty good. It looks like they've taken their time. This is a big operation, and the gameplay looks fun, and it looks like it's going to be varied and fun, and that's probably the best thing that I can say about an Assassin's Creed game. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is because the gameplay in the previous games, and I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed games, they didn't look great. It looked off. It looked kind of like glitchy and jank. This one, when it comes to the animations and the gameplay, looks a lot better. So we'll see how Assassin's Creed Shadows works out on March 20th. Next up is a game that I'm also super excited about, probably like right there with Xenoblade Chronicles X, and that is Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land on March 21st. This game is pretty much one of those things to me where it's like, hey, you support something like the Atelier Ryza series, and here's what they did. They took all that money that they made from the trilogy of Atelier Ryza, and they invested it. They really did invest it into what looks like a much better game overall than Atelier Ryza. You have a huge open-ended areas or open world. You've got a lot of different gameplay elements that they're adding in. When it comes to the combat system, I love what they're doing with the action elements kind of infused with some of the turn-based elements. They still have all the alchemy system that's going in there. The main character design for Yumia is awesome, and she has like a motorcycle too, which is pretty cool. I saw that. There was like a motorcycle she was riding on, so kind of like Link and the Master Cycle, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or something like that. But either way, it looks like the open world is really cool. It's going to have a lot of fun exploration to go through as well. So this Atelier game actually has me more excited to play it than when I first saw Atelier Ryza, which Atelier Ryza was probably the first Atelier game that I actually got excited to play. And Atelier's been around for decades now at this point. So Atelier Yumia is actually looking really good and checking all the boxes for me. So I'm looking forward to checking that game out. That's right after Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I don't know how I'm going to play both games at the same time, but I'm going to try. So Atelier Yumia, March 21st. Next up is Bleach Rebirth of Souls, March 21st as well. And I'm an old school Bleach fan. I used to watch it back when I was in college. I remember watching so much Bleach back then, and Bleach is still one of the best animes of all time. I think it's one of the big three animes, and I think that this game is going to say a lot about what anime games can be, right? There's been a lot of clunkers over the years when it comes to anime games. I have not been impressed with the quality. Now, there's been some awesome stuff. I think that Dragon Ball Z has been able to do some pretty good stuff, but when it comes down to it, there has not been a good Bleach game since the DS days. The DS had two good Bleach games that were like fighting Street Fighter style of games, which I liked a lot, but there really hasn't been anything else that's been good when it comes to Bleach. So I'm really hoping that Bleach Rebirth of Souls, with its different type of combat system and how they're organizing this, I really hope that it's good, because they're trying to make it a bit more like the show and kind of like how you fight. It's not just like a straight up Demon Slayer or Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm where you just kind of, you know, dash into people and then like you do a combo. Those games pretty much play similar, and people are like, oh, those are great, right? Yeah, sure, they sell good because people like the animes, but they're doing something a little bit different with the combat, and I do like that. So I am crossing my fingers and I'm hoping, and I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt to put it on this list. I'm looking forward to checking it out, and I really hope that it does something awesome. Next up is another game for the Souls fans out there. That is the first Berserker Khazan on March 27th. Now, the first Berserker Khazan is an RPG with various equipment and perks to customize your own way of growth. You play as the protagonist, Khazan, not only upgrading character abilities, but combining different types of weapons and armor ability to match your playstyle. So at first I wasn't necessarily super excited about this game, but then I started reading up more on it, saw some more gameplay, and I'm like, okay, it's definitely on my radar now as one of the better games to be coming out. So I'm hoping that this game ends up being really good. It's got a really cool character design and everything, and I do like what I've seen so far. I just want to see how the RPG mechanics really play out, see more depth and detail into it, but it's looking good. It's coming out on March 27th. Another game that I'm super excited for, an old school collection just like Suikoden, and that is Lunar Remastered Collection, April 18th. It's the birthday month for me, so I'm very excited to get into the birthday month. And yeah, Lunar Remastered Collection. Like, these are old school games that I played back in the day. Old franchise that essentially died off. It did terrible, then we never saw it again. So if you ever want to see Lunar come back, these old school turn-based RPGs with fantastic storylines and a very good art style, and I think would just be like the vibe. Lunar just has a certain vibe that I haven't seen before. If you want to see them come back, you definitely have to pick up the Lunar Remastered Collection. I know I will be buying the games. I used to rent them back in the day, and I thought they were so good. So to bring it back and to actually have them, and then with a bunch of updates as well. Obviously, the graphics are going to look better. They've upgraded the quality. They put in new quality of life features in there, just like Suikoden. So that's definitely a good thing, and I hope this can lead to the Lunar series and franchise actually coming back and staying this time. So Lunar Remastered Collection, April 18th. Next up is a pretty crazy game. It's called The 100 Line Last Defense Academy on April 24th. And this is from the creators of Danganronpa and the Zero Escape series. Brand new adventure. Takumi Sumio is the main character of this game. This is the plot here. He's a totally average teenager living in the Tokyo residential complex, a place where every day is much like the last and nothing bad ever happens. All of that changes when freakish monsters attack the town and start wreaking havoc. A strange creature calling himself Sire appears and offers Takumi the power to protect those he holds dear. All he has to do is stab himself in the chest. It's almost like the Persona thing overall, when you have to do something crazy in order to get powers. Now, the next thing he knows, Takumi is in the Last Defense Academy, a school in the middle of nowhere surrounded by a wall of otherworldly flames. He and 14 other students have been drafted into the Special Defense Unit, a team tasked with keeping the school safe for the next 100 days. How much are they willing to sacrifice to take back their normal lives and save the world from the grotesque school invaders? Now, this game apparently has 100 extreme despair-filled endings, so Takumi's choices will decide his future. Oh my gosh, you've got defensive battles, you've got all sorts of stuff that you can do in this game. So it definitely seems like it's a combination of Danganronpa and Zero Escape put into like a tower defense slash action adventure game. Like, that's what it seems like here, and it's absolutely insane what they're doing. So that's what caught my eye about this game when I first saw it at the Nintendo Direct, and it's launching on April 24th. Now let's go and get into the next game, and this one I'm super excited about. Probably right up there with Atelier Yumia and Xenoblade, and that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We recently got previews of this game, and this looks like the real deal. It is essentially what we all thought that Square Enix would do with Final Fantasy in the HD era, or more like probably like PS4 and up, PS4, PS5. We thought that this was probably going to be the style, potentially, if they were going to go with a turn-based RPG. This is what it would be. So Clair Obscur, it essentially combines the grittiness that you saw with like Lost Odyssey or old school, what you thought Final Fantasy looked like Final Fantasy VII or something like that, with Persona and like Paper Mario with the gameplay. They showed up this new gameplay footage, and you can pretty much parry everything, parry boss attacks and do counter attacks as well. They've got dual techs like Chrono Trigger. They've got a lot of DNA from different RPGs out there. You're this expedition team where every single year there's this thing, there's this entity, and she erases away people. They just disappear, and you're the 33rd expedition team to go there and try to stop that person from doing that and figure out why they erase people each year. So this game is looking like it's going to be an incredible new IP, and if you're a turn-based old school RPG fan and you want that brought into the new day, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is your game. The music, the sound effects, the dynamic camera battle angles, what they've said with the story so far, I'm really enjoying the quality from what I've seen, and I think that it's going to be a really good game. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, man, I'm like feeling very good about this. It's almost the same feelings that I had when I first saw Mass Effect. I thought that Mass Effect could really change that genre back when KOTOR was so big and popular, and this was their next thing, and I was really excited for that. I get the same feeling here that this could be the start of something beautiful overall. The developers are game first type of developers. They've got a lot of funding and backing from different places, but they've been able to put together something that they wanted to make from their favorite games overall. And you can tell that they've taken so much good stuff, the DNA from other games, and put together their own thing and made their own creation. So it's transformative in that way. So very excited for Clair Obscur Expedition 33 launching on April 24th. Next up, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, on May 21st. And yeah, I'm excited about this one as well, because they've really taken this game and turned it into something that actually gets me excited and interested. At first, I thought it was going to be more of a smaller Animal Crossing or more of a smaller like Harvest Moon type of experience, but it's actually turned into a sprawling action RPG life simulation with an open world, great co-op adventure, and a bunch of new things that they've done in order to make this game a much better game, despite the multiple delays that this game has had. Level 5, you know that they're going to delay stuff. So despite that, they've been able to create something awesome, and probably the thing that I'm most excited for is all the different vocations that you can have and how that's going to work with multiplayer. This is a game to me that I can play with the community. I think it'd be fun to go exploring and adventuring, but this one has probably grabbed me the most from what I've seen from this type of sub-genre of game. So Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, May 21st. Next up is Lost Soul Aside on May 30th, a big PlayStation 5 game that I'm definitely going to be picking up, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about this and what this game is about. So Lisa's gone. She's gone. Who is this lady? How can this happen? We had plans, a future, everything was going to be better, but it's over. No, we have to fight on. The rest of us cannot give up. And now I have an unlikely ally. I'm becoming more powerful. Can I save her? Can I bring back her soul? You can embark on this epic odyssey to save your younger sister and the whole of humanity from a mysterious dimensional invaders from beyond the starlit skies in Lost Soul Aside. You can run the gauntlet of formidable enemies and colossal bosses in this breathtakingly stylish action-adventure RPG, chaining weapon and spectacular attack combos and high-octane dynamic combat. I always felt like this is essentially Noctis's brother. This is Noctis Part 2. This is what he did after Final Fantasy 15. He's went and done this. No, I'm joking with that. But yeah, Lost Soul Aside looks really cool. It's taken a long time for this game to come, but it looks like it's going to be awesome from all of the different gameplay that they've shown so far. It looks super flashy. The story looks like it's going to be, it'll be there. But the gameplay is where this game is probably going to shine quite a bit, considering how much time that they've taken. I like how it's looked so far. It looks like you're going to have a lot of different tools at your disposal to play. And these type of action RPGs, man, they always kind of come about each year. You'll have like that Stellar Blade, or that type of action RPG that's a ton of fun to play. Not the best game out there when it comes to story and everything combined, but still a fantastic experience that Sony picks up. So 2025, this might be this year's kind of Stellar Blade type of game with Lost Soul Aside. So that's coming out on May 30th. Next up is Elden Ring Nightreign on May 30th as well. And I'm not huge into Elden Ring and Souls games anymore. I used to be, but I do think that this one is interesting because it's so co-op focused. And it's one of those things to where, okay, if I can play an Elden Ring type of game and the focus is co-op and that's what it's about, and that might be cool to kind of go through with the homies, with the friends, right? Maybe something we can play on the channel as well. So that's the reason why it's on my radar as one of the best games, because I do think that they're probably taking everything that they knew about what was fun to fight when you have like the online play, when you bring in someone else to play, and making a whole game around that. So I think that's what makes Elden Ring Nightreign kind of cool overall from what I've seen and from what they've shown. So I'm hoping that it actually ends up being something that gets me interested and hooked in. I'll probably check it out on PC, have it right there. Don't have to worry about PSN or the Xbox Live or anything like that. And I'll try it out. I did try out Elden Ring, and while Elden Ring is very good, I think that that game is awesome. It didn't necessarily hook me for the long term, but maybe Elden Ring Nightreign will if I have some people to play with. And from what they've shown in terms of the different styles and combat that you can do, there's definitely some fun to be had, because I did like many aspects of Elden Ring. So Elden Ring Nightreign, May 30th. Last up is Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma on May 30th as well. And this is another one of those games that when I saw it at the Nintendo Direct, I was like, oh wow, like it's a Rune Factory game. And I'm not usually huge into Rune Factory, but what they've done with the different setting in this game and how they've kind of incorporated more of that Japanese style into it is actually pretty cool. And on top of that, they've got a lot of different things that they're adding into the mix, how the combat is working and what you can do in the game overall. So they've taken what was really good and what I liked about it, then added in a whole different setting that makes it look like it's going to be really fun to play through, and with a lot of different features and abilities that we did not have before in Rune Factory games. So Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma looks pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to playing it as well. But that's going to wrap it up for all the games here. What games are hype that you're looking forward to that's coming out in the next month or so? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell. And if you enjoyed this video here, make sure you check out my other top 25 and other top list videos right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.